Namaste, Hare Krishna. Welcome back to the reading of Srimad Bhagavatam with me. Those of you who have been regularly listening, thank you for keeping me encouraged. And I hope you all have subscribed. If not, please do that right away. Also, feel free to share it with anyone you think might benefit from this. Those of you who are joining in for the first time, I request you to please start listening from the very beginning. In no time, you will be able to catch up to where we are. And of course, once again, I remind you to please not forget to subscribe right away. Yes, and I welcome all of you to post any questions that you may have either in the comments section on this YouTube channel, or I have also provided my email ID so you can communicate with me one-on-one as well. Right? You're also welcome to post any suggestions or comments that you may have. Especially, I would be very happy to also learn about your own realizations, the connect that you could make by what you are hearing about your own life, the changes that probably you are deciding to make in your life, or something that you heard has brought about is something also very welcome for all of us to hear. So please do share as and when possible. So we'll continue our reading. As you know, who have been regulars, we have completed the reading of first canto. We are reading the translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who happens to be my Param Guru. And we are currently reading the second canto, where we have completed reading 7 chapters. We are in the 8th chapter entitled Questions by King Parikshit, and we'll continue our reading from verse 23 today. यथात्मा तंत्रो भगवान विक्रीदति आत्मा मायाया विसृज्य वा यथा मायम उदासते साक्षिवाद विभुः. Translation: The independent personality of Godhead enjoys his pastimes by his internal potency, and at the time of annihilation gives them up to the external potency, and he remains a witness to it all. So we are reading the questions of King Parikshit to his Guru Shukdev Goswami, and all these questions King Parikshit is asking in the 7 days that he has, last 7 days that he has of his life on this planet. And it is considered that anybody who listens to this with complete attention and with a mind of a disciple or a devotee will get the same benefits as he got, which basically means will be liberated from this material bondage. So friends, please listen to it attentively and make most of this opportunity. Right? Purport: Lord Shri Krishna, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead and fountainhead of all other incarnations, is the only independent person. He enjoys his pastimes by creation as he desires and gives them up to the external energy at the time of annihilation. By his internal potency only, he kills the demon Putana, even though enjoying his pastimes in the lap of his mother Yashoda. And when he desires to leave this world, he creates the pastimes of killing his own family members Yadukula and remains unaffected by such annihilation. He is the witness of everything that is happening, and yet he has nothing to do with anything. He is independent in every respect. Maharaja Parikshit desired to know more perfectly, for a pure devotee ought to know well. Verse 24. Sarvam etacha bhagavan prachhato me anupurvashaha tatvato arhasi udahartum prapannaya mahamune. Translation: O great sage, representative of the Lord, kindly satisfy my inquisitiveness in all that I have inquired from you, and all that I may not have inquired from you from the very beginning of my questionings. Since I am a soul surrendered unto you, please impart full knowledge in this connection. Purport: The spiritual master is always prepared to impart knowledge to the disciple, and specifically when the disciple is very inquisitive. Inquisitiveness on the part of a disciple is greatly necessary for the progressive disciple. Maharaja Parikshit is a typical disciple because he is perfectly inquisitive. If one is not very inquisitive about self-realization, one need not approach a spiritual master simply to make a show of discipleship. Not only is Maharaja Parikshit inquisitive concerning all he has inquired about, but he is also anxious to know about what he has not been able to inquire. Factually, it is not possible for a man to inquire about everything from the spiritual master, but the bona fide spiritual master is able to enlighten the disciple in every way for the disciple's benefit. Verse 25. Atra pramanam hi bhavan parameshti yathatma bhu apare chanutishtanti Purvesham Purvajaiha Kritam. Translation: O great sage, you are as good as Brahma, the original living being. Others follow custom only, as followed by the previous philosophical speculators. Purport: it may be argued that Shukdev Goswami is not the only authority of perfect knowledge in transcendence because there are many other sages and their followers. Contemporary to Vyasadeva or even prior to him, there were many other great sages such as Gautama, Kannada, Jaimini, Kapila and Ashtavakra, and all of them have presented a philosophical path by themselves. Patanjali is also one of them, and all these 6 great rishis have their own way of thinking, exactly like the modern philosophers and mental speculators. The difference between the 6 philosophical paths put forward by the renowned sages above mentioned and that of Shukdev Goswami as presented in the Srimad Bhagavatam is that all the 6 sages mentioned above speak the facts according to their own thinking, but Shukdev Goswami presents the knowledge which comes down directly from Brahmaji, who is known as Atmabhu, or born of and educated by the Almighty Personality of Godhead. Vedic transcendental knowledge descends directly from the personality of Godhead. By His mercy, Brahma, the first living being in the universe, was enlightened, and from Brahmaji, Narada was enlightened, and from Narada, Vyasa was enlightened. Shukdev Goswami received such transcendental knowledge directly from his father, Vyasadeva. Thus, the knowledge being received from the chain of disciplic succession is perfect. One cannot be a spiritual master in perfection unless and until one has received the same by disciplic succession. That is the secret of receiving transcendental knowledge. The 6 great sages mentioned above may be great thinkers, but their knowledge by mental speculation is not perfect. However, perfect and empiric philosopher may be in presenting a philosophical thesis. Such knowledge is never perfect because it is produced by an imperfect mind. Such great sages also have their disciplic successions, but they are not authorized because such knowledge does not come directly from the independent Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana. No one can be independent except Narayana, therefore no one's knowledge can be perfect, for everyone's knowledge is dependent on the flickering mind. Mind is material, and thus knowledge presented by material speculators is never transcendental and can never become perfect. Mundane philosophers, being imperfect in themselves, disagree with other philosophers because a mundane philosopher is not a philosopher at all unless he presents his own theory. Intelligent persons like Maharaja Parikshit do not recognize such mental speculators, however great they may be, but hear from the authorities like Shukdev Goswami, who is non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the Parampara system and is specially stressed in the Bhagavad Gita. Verse 26. Name asavaha parayanti brahman anashanad ami pibato achyuta piyusham tadvakya abdhi vinishratam. Translation: O learned Brahmana, because of my drinking the nectar of the message of the infallible personality of Godhead, which is flowing down from the ocean of your speeches, I do not feel any sort of exhaustion due to my fasting. Purport: the disciplic succession from Brahma, Narada, Vyasa and Shukadev Goswami is particularly different from others. The disciplic successions from other sages are simply a waste of time, being devoid of Achyuta Katha or the message of the infallible Lord. The mental speculators can present their theories very nicely by reason and arguments, but such reasons and arguments are not infallible, for they are defeated by better mental speculators. Maharaja Parikshit was not interested in the dry speculation of the flickering mind, but he was interested in the topics of the Lord, because factually he felt that by hearing such a nectarian message from the mouth of Shukadev Goswami, he was not feeling any exhaustion, even though he was fasting because of his imminent death. One can indulge in hearing the mental speculators, but such hearing cannot endure for any length of time. One will be exhausted very soon from hearing such hackneyed ways of thinking, and no one in the world can be satisfied simply by hearing such useless speculations. The message of the Lord, especially from a personality like Shukadev Goswami, can never be tiring, even though one may be exhausted from other causes. In some editions of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the text of the last line of this verse reads, Anyatra Kupita Dvijat, which means that the king might be overwhelmed by the thought of his imminent death by snake bite. The snake is also twice born, and its anger is compared to the cursing Brahmana boy who was without good intelligence. Maharaja Parikshit was not at all afraid of death, for he was fully encouraged by the message of the Lord. One who is fully absorbed in Achyuta Katha can never be afraid of anything in this world. With this, we will conclude the reading for today, friends. Thanks you for joining in. I will see you all again very soon. Till then, stay safe, stay home. Hare Krishna.